Okay, did just try and do this a moment ago, had bad internet connection. It is 21 minutes past midnight here on the East Coast in the USA, and it's been another long day, but lots of good things. That's a Carpincho capybara from a friend in Australia, and that is Rob's design for the Saveiro, which is the inspiration for mine with the body kit and the rear spoiler. So let's take a look at what's happened today. Today is either Wednesday night or it's Wednesday night, Thursday morning technically. Get to the polo in a minute. Saveiro, we pulled outside, cleaned a lot, still a lot more to do on it there. Battery's kind of dead at this point, but we'll get back to it. Dan Yost was here earlier. The front lip. Bom dia, Brazil, and no entendo Portuguese. Entendo Volkswagen. I don't understand Portuguese, unfortunately, but I do understand Volkswagen. Everyone's asked about the front lip. It is happening. The front lip was designed for the big bumper Fox, Voyage, Saveiro, Gol. But this is a small bumper car, so Dan came, measured, modified, and so that's getting modified. So we will have a front lip with fiberglass. This was done by a gent in southern Brazil by hand. I will tag him on Instagram really soon. So, Polo. Just me and Brandon now after midnight. Earlier on, we had a bunch of other people, bunch of old and new friends. We did have Alan from Odyssey Battery. They're one of my kind of longer term sponsors now. The big news on batteries, if you're in the USA, is they now have a 47 series. This is the only one in the world. Hashimoto, exactly. Obrigado. So Hashimoto was the person that made it. He is like Drift Cars Brazil. I'll have to look it up. Dog bone mount. Dog bone mount is doing really well. Battery 47 series fits tons of Volkswagen Passats, Jettas, etc. This is the first one in the world. Full stop. And it's in the Polo. Forge, got a big delivery from Forge. The exciting thing for me during the day was the coolant hoses work really well. If you look closely, you'll see there's a little line. I literally took two and chopped them, and there's a socket in the middle right now, but I need to change that to be probably a copper hose with little flanges on it, and then the other ones, the coolant overflow line, so that's all getting run there. So this is the 1.8 turbo Forge coolant kit, which does fit factory in a Mark IV, doesn't fit factory in a Polo for 1.8T swap, but it's pretty damn close. Also from them is the intercooler. I sent them basic instructions for where I thought it should run. You can see there's a gap there and a gap there, and I just said, hey, I don't care what it's from. So I literally don't know what this intercooler is from, but it's from Forge and it's off the shelf, and it fits so tight. So we trimmed a little bit, just tiny little bit there, but the length, everything is, look at where the welds end on both sides. I am so genuinely excited about this. This is just sitting there with, it can move because it's literally just sitting on the bumper. The bumper is barely touched. Brandon did hack, or very nicely cut, the rebar to heck. So there is way less rebar. What we're gonna do is weld in a reinforcement. And then other big news is that Aaron Staley, he is one of my long-term friends. He has a rally golf and a Mark I crazy project. We bought him a plane ticket, so he's gonna fly here Friday night, and he's going to help with the welding, the TIG welding. I showed you yesterday, we have the Miltech exhaust, some parts of it. This is for the 1.8 turbo cat delete race 3-inch downpipe, and then 2.5-inch non-resonated. It's a TDI or a fancy louder 1.8 turbo. So we've got that. Most of it fits very closely on it, but the downpipe's gonna need some massaging, so Aaron's gonna come and do some fancy pie cuts and TIG welding on that. What I'm also gonna ask him to do is TIG weld this so it'll fit with little brackets onto the rebar, and that will solve that. BFI mounts, they're all in. Gates timing belt. This is the Audi S3. This is the Audi TT225 manifold. You can see we started cutting here. And Brandon's actually started marking out where we're going to make it look nicer. So by a bunch of trimming, this will fit, and then the intercooler piping is going to have to go down there and then out through here and make that turn. So that will be Dan or Aaron. I own a TIG welder. I do not know how to TIG. Simple as that. What else am I missing?
Rear brakes or...
Rear brakes. I still don't have carriers or hubs, so I've got to find those. I know I have them somewhere. We're going to do the axles. That's still on the to-do list. I still have 4 mass. Rear brakes are yellow. Front brakes, Peter was here earlier. They are back there getting painted right now. That's some pretty big stuff. Brandon's going to take the oil pan and seal it later. We're in pretty good shape as far as that goes. In other super strange news, I've just been doing my own powder coating in-house. It's quicker, whatever. So earlier on, I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found a used oven, so I bought it. When I went to the house to buy it for $40 US, yeah, there were 2 ducks inside the house and at least 2 dogs. The one dog was very nice, but the owner told him not to be nice or to go away. And there were 2 ducks just inside the house, shitting on a house stereo. There's just an Iowa stereo amplifier, and the ducks just sitting on it shitting. Like, what the hell is this? Anyway, that was the excitement earlier. Got to build the wheels, got the barrels all painted pretty much, so they're looking pretty good. So, brakes, wheels, tires, intercooler piping, front brake spindles from a 16 valve Polo. And again, America never got the Polo, so there's just no parts for this. We're having to adapt or modify or find cross-reference parts, whatever. So from Volkswagen Classic parts, I have front spindles coming, should be arriving tomorrow. Battery's good. I just have to clean the tray and then powder coat the little bracket for there. Shift bracket. We need to get the bracket for the shifter cables to go on top of the transmission. I think it's around here somewhere, but we need to find it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Headliner, yes, the headliner is the worst part of the interior. It's falling down there. Oh, here's a good one. This is the Momo steering wheel that kind of everyone has. It's the Momo Benetton edition, and Emil did paint that, which is super cool, with PPG paints. So that's the Momo Benetton that everyone has. The blue is a light blue, almost like that color instead of the navy blue. So Alan from Odyssey was on Facebook, like you do, and he found, my hands are a little dirty, so I'm going to be really careful here. This one, brand new, new old stock, a little note from the girl's grandfather who bought it saying the flea market that he bought it in Germany and who he bought it from and who made it. So I think I'm going to run this one because it's pretty wild. What I do need to do is get a center made for it. I'm going to reach back out to Grass Shed. That's who made the BBS Harley Quinn center caps. So I'm going to see if he will do that for me. I did also buy matching cassettes in a flea market last weekend. So yeah. So that's that. This is some of my toy collection. Just 1 or 200 Volkswagens. Okay, so that's kind of you up to date on the Polo. The cooling system is almost finished. The intake manifold and things are getting there. We've got a new Forge intake pipe to fit once the motor comes out. Downpipe will be the weekend. That's kind of it. I feel like it's kind of slow work. I'm kind of happy with getting the engine kind of tidied up. I've got to do more there. Oh, tomorrow, later this morning, ECU flash. Yes, we have a KO4 tune by Unitronic. which they built specifically for the shaved engine. So we're not running the N249, we're not running evap, everything else there. However, there's no KO4 turbo yet. It's on order. It's coming from Borg Warner. We just don't know where it is. It's in Germany. It's either in Germany or it's getting overnighted. We just don't know. I'm very excited on the Saveiro for the tailgate to come back once everything's modified and painted up there. Oh, damn it. Wow, I just remembered. Okay. I hope this isn't too boring. Roof rails and the other pieces are going out to get painted, but I need to go and deliver those tonight. So it's going to be a late night. And on that note, I'm going to stop talking to you guys. I hope this is still kind of interesting. This is the pile of parts that still needs to go onto the car. Thank you for the very quick feedback on it not being too boring. The roof rack, I'm going to paint the roof rails. The roof rail is going to stay black, but the bike tray from Thule is going to go green to match this. That's about it. That's a lot. It's a lot to do. It's Wednesday. My goal is by the end of Friday. There's more parts coming from ECS tomorrow. I need more cooling hoses, wheel bearings. There's just so much to do still. I'm so excited about the intercore.